Hello, this is Gerald Overmars. I have recorded just before this one a video about the word lyre, completely different. How has been written with different letters. Here we come to the demonstration of the word lyre, the instrument, the music instrument actually, which I associate here with this. I'm not sure if there are other meanings from the word, but let's focus upon the lyre, the instrument, and see how much actually our mind is focused on these letters and how these focuses of letters directs us into a certain direction of thought, of form, and so on. Every letter is actually associated and recognized most easily by certain features. That means certain letters we recognize also orally or just like as we hear it as a kind of balanced out situation that we associate with certain things. These balanced out situations or features are very short notices. These notices are so short so that we can use them as starting points. Hence, about 9 kind of different starting points that we can have in 1, 2, or 3 points, and also depending on the position between a starting point itself, a move away from the center and going in towards the full volume of what we have, the material that we have, or really the conclusion, the end, and so on. So three sorts of positions, also geometrically, with also degrees of certainty. I'm not going to go too deep into this matter of the theory too much, because I will, of course, only talk about this word and about the letters that we need. They're also directions and they're also frames of focus, so that because we do not see always the center point of vision, we don't really know where the points of reference are. It's because they're there all the time, like with the letter R. It's a vibration, and you don't really know where is it really connected to, where did it start, where does it go. We don't hear that, we don't hear that, we don't know how to describe it. But it's there. It's that last category of focuses is about a certain range that we can sense it. We can still sense vibrations, for instance. We can sense that. We can sense reflections. We have a certain feedback from these reflections, like in G, or we have a certain feedback of a process where things are going on, and we have kind of vibrations that makes us a bit scary, like with the S. Because there's so many sounds that we really don't know how far will this go. So we will focus upon something completely different than other letters. Each of these letters has a specific focus, and I have defined these into these categories and degrees, so that you have a whole range of letters that have a geometrical position and other kinds of elements that build up like a logic of its own. Okay, but let's focus now onto the word. Lyre has these letters. You have the L into the first category. The first category is about starting points, trying to distinct starting points in this very short point of time that we don't even need much time for it to make a distinction. So it's really about one point, but not all points are immediately clear, so there can be some unclarity there. This double point of L means that we see that there are some differences, and then this gives the emphasis on form. There is a certain form, something is forming there. It's not completely upon a certain position, but you see, okay, it has a certain shape, shapes of formation. That's our first letter, and of course we have other ones as well, but I will go deeper into it when we come to that. We have always the background that helps us to make a difference of the focuses that we have ourselves and someone else to compare with, our vision, someone else's vision, or just the thing underneath us, which is the physical shape like the L, into a spatial association. If we more focus upon differences, so also with comparison of me and you, or what it is first and where it is going to, we have these arrows, and we have the two focuses. And at the end, we also have these three focuses. I will come to that in a small repetition. A bit further on, I shouldn't go too deep and too far into it because I'm already talking 5 minutes just for the introduction. But let's go to the L, because the shape is forming from a center to a doubling up of forms. I usually use this leaf-like, tongue-like shape of the L. We also write L when we write, when we don't use capitals when we're writing it down. And this is about shaping a formation. It has a certain placement, so the placement from the center onwards to shape, and it describes actually the shapes or any shape that forms itself. That's my attention in L. The Y that is added to it is always associated with, like from all the letters from the second category, all associated with a direction. First, we have three letters with three directions: horizontal, vertical, diagonal. This is a diagonal direction. This diagonal direction brings us away from our usual focus, and we go really and see that, okay, maybe there are also more differences. Maybe there's a different space, or we go beyond space. Maybe we go to a really timed schedule there. Because it's all about timing, it's involved there, but we still see it from space. So we leave space as it is with a form. So I'll move up a little bit because we're talking more closely. So we have shapes, timings, and the whole background of what is constantly there as a continuation of the full reality. So we have moved up the L to the Y and take a shape away from the center, that it will bring us from the centering positions and centering focuses, that it will bring us to something beyond that, something beyond space. So that's what the purpose will bring us. What it will be, we don't know yet. But the next letter, R, will bring us to the definition of what's the range of what we can handle, what's the range of what we can see, meaning the frames of the frame of what we can see. From where to where can we see it? From where to where can we measure it? From where to where can we use it? So that's also about the shape. That's also about what we can lift out of space, go beyond another space, go beyond it, go towards timing, go towards a time schedule. And that brings us to a new area. And this area is not just written down as Y, it's also pronounced differently. It is more pronounced as I. This I, in a certain way, as a long sound, doubles it a little bit up, that you have a certain comparison of central focuses, whatever this can be. There will be two central focuses, starting points, two kinds of starting points which we will use to lift it up. What it will be, we don't know yet, and what the purpose will be, we don't know yet. The next letter will give us that solution, and that will build up the word. The R is this constant background of vibrations of what can be continued more strongly, so that it almost has a life on its own. It has this continuity, the vibrations in the background. That's the background also of the R. It's the third letter on that level, that middle level. So it is about what can we reach with it. How can we reach it, and how can we connect to it. It's like in the end you have a rope where you're fishing, and the end of the rope is then the R, which will fish for solutions, which will fish for expressions or whatever. A full range of connections will come out of it, and that's the R. So I connect the vibrations also to these areas where I am. And the connections will always be connected in the framing, not just of what's the area we're working in, it's the framing also of our range of possibilities. So it has a certain range in which I can work. This range will add the two terms from and to, so it will be from there to until there. So that's the range that we will work with a form that is there and a form that will bring us outside the normal space. And what we will do with it is actually also expressed in the last word. Last word is last letter. The last letter is not pronounced the e, but it will give us a context. This context where we will lead to is the context of timing. Actually, the e is about timing, the changes that will happen, the changes that we will work with, also to lift us out of this space with a certain form. We could actually, yes, perform something there to make this happen. And that's what it actually, of course, is. You have this from, to, you have the timings. The A is about timings, the changes, or just the change in general. Let's perform a change into a formal expression. What will also, of course, lift us out of our normal space and bring us to the heavenly realms of what is living as vibrations around us. So it will really express, could express this in that way. The letters fit to that as well. They can be used for this expression. They express this as well, and they are also there where you can see that even the form fits to it. So that means you have the form or shape of focus, with the Y directing it outside its own space, with a purpose for in the next letter to connect, of course, to connect to a bigger system of vibrations, let's say, or to connect itself, so just simply during with a certain time schedule or even planned period that we can add to it freely, because it's not fixed what kind of plan or what kind of plan will be there, but it's adaptable. You can have that adaptation there and you can plan it whenever you want, because because you don't hear the it only says that plays in the background, and you can adapt to it whatever you have, because that's the context to come to that object and to give it a meaningfulness and how it is functional. That works in the background. The object itself doesn't have that move, that change. It isn't changing at all, but in the background you can add that change. It's a letter that therefore is not pronounced, but it's still written there because it's involved, and it's even the conclusion for it. It's even the purpose for it to go to there as a last letter, to go to that timed schedule that will lift us from that instrument to somewhere beyond where we are, beyond that object as well, into the vibrations that we sense and express them at that time as well. Like L is also about an expression in form, but it can also be an expression into something that has shaped this, has given this a form. So I hope this was also clear why lyre, read differently, is meaningful, also because of its choice of letters, and also because of its choice of pronunciation. I'm completely against the tendency of a few people that tried to change language into a literal, written down language that really literally writes down how things are pronounced. But it can be confusing to do so, because here these layers, they give you good advice what is physical, what is real, like the object, and what is playing around in the background, and nothing more than that. So I hope this was clear enough for you, and thanks again for watching. So there are some references here. You have these books, and you have the web page, and we have the Facebook page, and you have the YouTube channel. Free to visit any of them or check them. anytime. Thanks again for watching. Bye.